Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video and welcome to round 4 of season 4 of our F1 Championship Edition career mode. Yes, we're back this weekend here for the San Marino Grand Prix at Imola. Of course, if you missed out on the video that went live a few days ago from Albert Park, I would highly recommend going back and checking it out. It was a bit of a disappointing one for us. We got involved in a lap 1 accident and basically spent the rest of the weekend trying to recover. It was Albert Park, it was just a little bit rough. Championship-wise though, Michael Schumacher, 3 podiums despite not winning yet, has left him with a 4-point lead at the top of the table ahead of Felipe Massa. Kimi Raikkonen still in 3rd ahead of Giancarlo Fisichella, Fernando Alonso and ourselves, and that means we, I believe, P4 still in the Constructors, just ahead of our big rivals over at Honda. Ferrari lead the way, 9 points clear of Renault, and McLaren still in P3 as well. But of course, yeah, our goal is just to try and keep scoring points in the drivers' table. We have had an offer through from Williams Formula 1 team. I don't think we'll be accepting that anytime soon, to be completely honest with you guys, but very, very interesting that other teams are still sniffing around at the moment. Of course, if you're new, please do make sure you leave a like, get yourself subscribed. We're trying to hit 7k subs on the channel before F1 25 comes out in just a few days' time. But yeah, without further ado then, let's return here to Imola. Well, our first race back in Europe then after 3 very different tests so far this season. Obviously, Australia was just a complete write-off for us. Malaysia, obviously, before that, we sensibly, I think, maximised what we could. Maybe could have got P2. I think had everything, you know, kind of the stars aligned, we could have had a win. And, of course, Bahrain was a kind of definite win that went begging for us. But I certainly think we're not a million miles away from our first win of the season. Here at Imola, we are very, very quick around most of the circuit. It is just about the AI through the chicane at the top of the hill. They will punish you.
Welcome to qualifying at the legendary San Marino circuit. Session 1, the first knockout session, is upon us, so without further delay, let's see who survives the first chop and who's relegated to the back of the grid.
Well, I was planning on not jinxing myself again by commentating over Q1 this weekend. Of course, didn't do that in Australia. And then had an absolute disaster of a session. Was hoping just to skip over it. But yeah, back in Imola though, and for the first time this season, at least in a qualifying or race session, we've got rain, so it's going to be very, very difficult. We just want to try and get a safe lap in on Q1, but wait and see whether we can even make it to Q3. Well, these are absolutely the most unfair conditions inside this game as well. The intermediates are the worst ones. The AI are fairly sensibly paced in full wet, but in the intermediates, they pretty much run around at dry weather pace, and you've just got no chance of competing with them. I mean, down in towards these first couple of corners, you got no chance of competing with them when the rears don't lock up anyway. I mean, look at it up here then. We're going to try and brake sensibly late into the chicane. The AI will dive bomb you there normally. It was only because we kept, I believe it was the Toro Rosso on our outside into the corner that he couldn't do anything. Rest of the lap, we're kind of there or thereabouts still. Nick Heidfeld sets a 1:23.8. Of course, this first lap isn't going to count, but will hopefully give us a semi-decent benchmark. Don't think we're going to be there, but we're not going to be a million miles away either. Oh, what's going on? You can't see anything in the spray. Immediately, everybody there having to try and jump out of the way. And again, you just hit a curb and you go straight into the wall. I don't know why James Allen thinks Barrichello won't be happy with that performance. He's on top of the board at the moment on a 1:22.2. We just want to get into sort of the 24s, 25s here. A couple of tenths down in Sector 2. Oh, a big moment of rear locking through the chicane, but somehow we keep it pointing the right direction. Massa now does a 21.5, so yeah, we're starting to see some very, very quick lap times coming in on the board. But I think we're going to see some surprises this session to make sure that we survive this lap time as well. Then make sure we get one on the board. We're almost out of fuel. We're going to do a 25.8 there. Only good enough for P14. Well, absolute disaster then here in qualifying for the Grand Prix. We will end up P18. That was not the upset I was hoping for here at Imola. But yeah, just behind Scott Speed there, ahead of both your Midlands and your Super Aguris. That has been an utter disaster yet again.
This is the San Marino Grand Prix coming to you live from the Autodromo Enzo Ferrari. 4.9 kilometres with 17 corners in all, Imola is situated close to Bologna in northern Italy. It's a wonderfully atmospheric circuit named after the late Enzo and his son Dino Ferrari, whose Maranello headquarters are just a short drive away. The Tifosi are here as usual in their thousands, hoping for a Ferrari victory. Conditions are just about perfect here today. Clear skies and perfect temperatures on and off the track. The forecast is also good, and we expect it to stay like this for the whole race. Michael Schumacher will start from pole. Next to him in second is Fernando Alonso. They're followed by Giancarlo Fisichella in third. Jenson Button lines up fourth. Nick Heidfeld goes from fifth. Kimi Raikkonen is next to him in sixth. Seventh place for Juan Pablo Montoya. Eighth is Felipe Massa.
Well, the team, again, just like in Australia, just want us to get to the checkered flag. That is the goal first and foremost. I reckon we should still have the pace to get points if it stays dry this weekend. But Michael Schumacher, yeah, really getting into his stride, has been brutally consistent in those first three Grand Prix. Yet to score a victory, but could today be the day? Toyota, I completely forgot Toyota won this race last season. Honestly, I think we'd be doing better if Jarno Trulli was our teammate. He generally seems to be stronger than Ralf Schumacher in this game. But for whatever reason, Toyota still had him at number 2 status. Let's get the traction control and the ABS back on, though. It's time for the San Marino Grand Prix.
Don't go anywhere. Turn up the volume and enjoy. Here we go. We are racing!
As always then, getting a good start.
Towards turn 1. Michael Schumacher leads out of turn 1. He's followed by Alonso. Next is Fisichella.
Well, very, very congested through those first couple of corners. Oh, lots of cars very slow on the exit. We're going to try and find an avenue around the outside of a few people if we can. I believe that was Massa getting involved in an incident there, as we will try and move past that Villeneuve. And yeah, we've gained up quite a few places then off the start of the Grand Prix, around the outside of our teammate Ralf Schumacher. That was the other goal the team gave us today, as Mark Webber, he just wants to try and get to the checkered flag of his second race so far this season. Can we have a look down the inside of our teammate? We certainly looked for it, but decided better with that one on lap 1 there. The big thing for us is making sure we got a bit of a gap to the cars behind by the time we make it up in towards this next chicane there, which hopefully we will. My goal today is not take any risk through here, but the AI will absolutely send it when they feel like they've got an opportunity to. Actually getting quite a nice run on our teammate down in towards the final couple of corners of the opening lap. To the inside we will have a look. Whoa, a little bit of understeer through the corner, but straight up then into P12 and 6 places gained off the start of the Grand Prix. We cannot complain about that one. Schumacher will lead at the end of lap 1. And Massa not even in the points. So can we get a run on Webber? Where is he going? He's trying to let me by, is he? I don't think so. Very, very weird.
The field looks like this. Michael Schumacher leads. Fisichella is second. Button is third. Heidfeld fourth. He's up from 5th. Kimi Raikkonen 5th. Montoya 6th. Barrichello is 7th. And in 8th is Coulthard.
Well done, you're moving up the field. Well done.
I can only assume that it was Massa and Alonso then that came together, because they are both way down the order from where you would expect them to be. So it is, yeah, the Italian hero Michael Schumacher versus the Italian driver Fisichella at the front.
Kimi Raikkonen 5th. Montoya 6th. Barrichello is 7th. And in 8th is Coulthard.
Oh, brilliant little switch there on Felipe. So there we go. We will move up into the top 10 of this Grand Prix. Alonso up next then, and then David Coulthard. The other one I noticed, Nick Heidfeld up in P4. He had a brilliant qualifying up in P5. What a result that would be. Oh, we got oil down. Sure, that's going to be right through the centre of the chicane. We'll try to avoid it as best as we can. There it is. Luckily not in the worst spot around this venue.
Barrichello is 7th. And in 8th
Whoa.
is Coulthard.
Well, I've got no idea how we landed that over the curbing, but apparently we did. Never expected the Gilles Villeneuve chicane to be where I was so strong here this afternoon, but we're making moves and making them quite regularly. Could we still get back to a decent points finish? Whoa, that's the reminder of what the AI will do, though. Alonso, who tries to go for a move there? Oh, Oh, what is that? I mean, the back end's breaking free so randomly around this venue, as I will try and cover off Alonso as best as I can, simply because I don't want to have to try and find a way. Oh, no! Back around him! That was not what I wanted to do, though. The throttle engaged again just as I was going into the chicane. And Alonso and Massa will both make it by. That is not what we wanted, but yeah, surprised just how badly the rear tyres are struggling here, considering how early we are in the race. Oh, Massa again, not getting the run off those first couple of corners, and we will try and move back past him again, up in towards the Gioviano chicane. Oh, it gave me a big old squeeze there, but we refused to back out against the reigning champ. Back into P10 again. Like I said, if we can just hit the lines, we've got pace. Or apparently if we just keep doing that, we don't have the pace. Try and get back on the road and stay ahead of Felipe again. Just wait and see what we can do. I mean, it's a little bit cheeky doing this, but the AI have got so much more grip here, you've kind of got to go for it. Oh, don't spin off that curb as well. Come on. Oh, that just into there every single time. The back end wants to break free, and I don't mind the fact the car's doing it so much. It's just the fact that you get such a ridiculous penalty for it. We're losing time by that happening, and it's still giving us a 6-second slowdown. And we can go quicker than Coulthard and Alonso here, but it's just irrelevant. Nick Heidfeld then the first of our runners into the pit lane, so we're going to temporarily claim P9. That's a little bit of a shame, though, because he was doing a good job holding everybody up.
He's up from third. Raikkonen is second. Michael Schumacher third. He was in the lead earlier. Fourth is Fisichella. Montoya fifth. Barrichello is sixth. David Coulthard is seventh. And in eighth place, Alonso.
Well, in for our pit stop then. Just want to make sure we get a nice, clean, tidy stop here. Obviously, plenty of time can be won and lost. 8.8, that's pretty good going. Not quite the 8.3 that we had a couple of races ago there, but as one of the Toro Rossos trying to get into their box. Where are we going to re-emerge in this race? I think there goes Christian Albers. But yeah, it's all a bit mixed up.
They'll soon heat up and turn green on the indicator.
Right, come on then. Let's go for it again, and let's just see if we can start closing in reliably. The low ball cars then into the pit lane. Of course, first and foremost, we've got to make sure that we are still ahead. Well, Felipe Massa, lines like that through the final corner won't do us any favours, as there is Felipe, I believe. Oh, damn it, man, that's not good. We just keep getting jumped by everybody. Can we try and get a run on him through turn 1, 2, and 3? No, we cannot.
They've heated up nicely now. Grip should be good.
Looks like Coulthard's been jumped as well for that final points-paying spot. So, yeah, it's going to be very, very tough. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Ooh, another big moment in the car. I mean, the AI are taking Aqua Minerale completely flat through the first part. You can barely do that in a modern Formula 1 car. Never mind this thing that was generally a lot slower through the corners. Not too sure how that works, but honestly, at the rate we're going, I think we're just going to have to limp home for a P11 unless we kind of see a few retirements in front. No. Oh, why is it doing this? Please don't hit a wall. Oh, we were so close then. Come on. I mean, it's not for points, but I think we've just got to try and bring the calm home at this point. I do not want our first retirement of the season. Oh, no. Again. This car doesn't seem to have a small crash today, I'll give it that. It's either staying on the road or it's going off in a big way. But 3 mistakes in about 4 laps. And now Mark Webber might be able to try and look past us. Luckily not this time. But don't throw away what we've got. Admittedly only a mediocre result, but still a result.
This is the final lap for race leader Michael Schumacher. Fisichella is in second behind him.
Keep an eye on your car condition indicator. The tyres are showing signs of wear and this will affect grip.
Well, this has got to be one of the weirdest races I think I've ever had inside this game, to be honest. Because the cars in front, that top 10, they've been on average like 2 seconds a lap faster than everybody else here. The gaps have been ridiculous, and, well, had we not made any mistakes, I think we could have kept up with those front runners. But honestly, even when we were behind Coulthard, we weren't really taking much time out of him. So just, yeah, that disappointing qualifying effort really did kind of set the tone of, you know, as soon as you let those front runners get away, we were never really going to be able to catch up to them again. Only one retirement, though, from this Grand Prix is pretty good going by this game's standard. But one more lap to go, then, here from Imola. Our second race in a row where we're not going to pick up points is rather disappointing. You know, we need to be trying to get back inside that top 10 frequently. You know, keep those points steadily rolling in, just like Michael Schumacher's doing. But he is about to become our 4th different winner in the first 4 Grand Prix this season. So this game still liking to be as unpredictable as ever. Michael Schumacher in front of the Tifosi is back on top.
Powers across the line to take top spot on the podium. Fisichella will finish the race in second.
Yeah, brilliant race between those two. Built up a gap early on and just never really looked back throughout the rest of the race. But I mean, yeah, the fact we've taken, you know, a couple of seconds out of those guys in front in the last few laps and put about 10 on Mark Webber just goes to show the pace disparity here. But as long as we don't bin it now, we will have completed the 2 goal set to us from the team. 1, survive. 2, beat Ralf Schumacher. So hopefully we can just make sure we do that nice and safely through the final couple of corners. But yeah, this car just has not worked here.
It's Webber! Looks like there's some damage to his rear wing. He'll have to pit and see if his team can replace it. It's far too risky to stay out there with any kind of damage to the rear wing. A bit of a scrape there, but at least he won't need to retire. Ralf Schumacher was the other driver involved in that altercation. Looks like his front wing has taken some damage.
And that concludes the first European race of the season. San Marino has played host to many great races over the years, and this has been no exception. It just remains for me to say goodbye and just remind you that we'll be back in 14 days' time at the Nürburgring in Germany for the European Grand Prix. Thank you and goodbye.
Well, there we are then. Michael Schumacher back on top as Honda even pick up their second podium in a row. Fisichella in P2, they're ahead of Jenson Button. Heidfeld, easily my driver of the day, finishing up in P5. But chaos behind me, apparently, on the last lap there, with Webber and Ralf Schumacher coming to blows. But they did still both make it to the checkered flag. World Championship, though, Schumacher now with an 8-point buffer ahead of Fisichella, as Raikkonen back up into 3rd ahead of Felipe Massa. Alonso still in 5th ahead of myself there, and now Button and Barrichello each just 1 point behind. Heidfeld and Montoya just inside your top 10 ahead of Rosberg and Ralf Schumacher as well. Constructors-wise, Honda jumped Toyota as well. A couple of good races for them. We need to try and get back in the swing of things. Nürburgring up next, though. That should hopefully be a good solid track for us. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll be back very, very soon.